The secure installation for WordPress doesn't have to take very long. It's worth a few extra minutes to prevent hackers from getting into your website. And I'm going to show you here in real time the steps that are involved. First, you have to create a secure database. And I'm using HostGator as my web host. It's got a cPanel dashboard, and so first I'm going to log into cPanel. And what I'm looking for is the section where I can create a database. So scroll down here to databases, and the easiest way is to just use the MySQL database wizard. Click on that. And the first part of your database name is already entered in there, and I use a suffix of 3 to 4 characters, and it can be numeric or alpha, to create a database. They don't have to make any sense. It's better if they don't, actually. So I use the same characters to create the username. Fill this field in here, and this part's really important. HostGator does provide a password generator, and I use that because it gives me a random password created from characters and numbers and letters. I'll copy that, and it wants me to copy the password in a safe place, which is smart. I keep a notepad open to record my passwords. So I got a very strong, which is great, and I'll go ahead and create the user. And there are different opinions on this, but I go the easy route and I assign all privileges to myself as administrator because I'm doing a secure login. I don't worry about it, especially with a strong password. So I'll go ahead and assign all privileges. And I've got my database. And on the same notepad where I record the database password, I also record the username and the database name. We're going to need that to actually do the WordPress installation. There's my password. And here are my user and database names. I'm losing my voice here, so bear with me. I hope I don't sound too scratchy. So I've got that over to the side. And that's how long it takes to set up the database. The next step is to download WordPress itself from WordPress.org. Don't download it from any other website. This is the one and only WordPress.org self-hosted software website. So you go there and click on Download WordPress, download the latest version, and I store it on my desktop. Now, since we're going to install WordPress in the root of our domain and also use the FTP software to install it, I want to unzip the file. So I'm going to go ahead and extract it. So that all of the folders are unpacked. The next thing is to grab our FTP software, and I use FileZilla. It's available free from filezilla-project.org. And you will need to get your FTP setup data from the web host. It looks like this, and on the left side is your hard drive. On the right side is your web host account. So I already have mine set up with my access information. I'll click Connect, and it's connecting to my web host, and over here it shows my web host account. So on the left side, I want my desktop, and I want to find that WordPress file. And on the right, I want to find my public access. Public HTML, and the domain name that I want to use. I've got several on my account. Yours probably won't look so busy, but I'll locate the domain that I'm going to install WordPress on. Open it up and look at this bottom window here. It shows me what's contained in the folder. So the same way that I'm looking here at WordPress, I actually want to get to the contents of this folder. So I'm going to drop down one, and here it's showing me all the contents, which is what I want. And since I want WordPress to be my main website, I am going to select everything in this folder. I'm not going to upload the folder itself, just the contents. Select everything and drag it over here to my domain. And you can see that it's installing all of these folders onto my web host on the specific domain that I want there. You can see the folders and files being populated. You can watch the queued files number here, and it should go down to 0. That's it. That's what we want. There's nothing left here to transfer. So we're good. And what we're looking for now over here is this particular file here, WP config sample. And I want to right click on it and view edited, because this is where we're going to add the database information that we stored on Notepad. Now, this editor may look a little bit different than the one that shows for you, because I'm using a particular editor called Edit Plus, but FileZilla comes with an editor that is free, so you don't have to use Edit Plus. You can use the built-in editor for FileZilla, and your page will look similar to this. What we're looking for here are the database name, database user, database password, and the host name. For HostGator, it's localhost. For many other hosts, it's also localhost. So make sure and check with your hosting company to find out what their database host is named, so that the rest of this data will work. So right now I will go ahead and just copy and paste from Notepad my username and database name are the same, and I'm going to paste it right here in between these single quotation marks, and you have to be precise. You cannot leave one of the single quotation marks off. And I'm going to put the password in. Localhost I can leave. The next thing that I want to change is the authentication keys. And the instructions here tell me that I can get new ones generated randomly by going to this web page. So I'll do that right now. Just copy the URL here. It ends in salt, so you know where to end, and go ahead and copy this block of text. Each time that you make sure that you copy everything, it ends in a semicolon. So make sure that you copy everything and bring it back to the editor, and make sure that you replace everything from this upper left hand corner define down to the last semicolon, and just paste. Now you've got virtually hacker-proof authentication keys in here. It's a long string of randomly generated numbers, letters, and characters. The last thing we're going to do is change the database table prefix, and I just choose 2 random letters, and just so that it's not WP, because that stands out clearly to hackers that it's a WordPress database. So I just change it to something else, and that's it. So at this point I can save it, go back to FileZilla, and I want to check this box that says finish editing and delete local file, because I don't need this editor any longer. And click yes, and WP config is now changed. The last thing I want to do is change the name of the file itself, remove the dash sample from it so that it's simply WP config. And now when I use the browser to go to my website here, I should see that WordPress is installed. So let's see if that works. Here's the URL before WordPress. I'm going to refresh it, reload it, and there it is. That's the 5-minute WordPress install. It's a little longer than 5 minutes. I have a slow Wi-Fi connection, so that adds some time to it too. But that's it. So now I want to add the title. And username and password. This is not the database username and password that I just created. This is my website username and password. What I do actually is choose a username that works for me, that I can remember with my set of sites and whatever. And I do keep it stored on a hard copy. So I'll copy it. I'll make a note of it here on Notepad, but I generally will put some kind of non-numeric and non-alpha character in there, and a couple of words that make no sense or that make sense only to me. And then for a password, I'll go back to this SALT website and actually refresh it to get a whole new string of characters, and I'll just copy a bunch of them here, and that's my new password. So I know I've got a really secure installation. I have not named my username admin, and I have not used a weak password. So I'll go ahead and add those in, and we will go ahead and see what it looks like, what WordPress looks like then. Oh, and I do have to add my email. If you're going to be using the site or setting up the site quickly, go ahead and allow the search engines. I generally untick that while I'm working on it. It's not a guarantee that the search engines won't visit, but it's helpful. Oh, I forgot to put the password in there. Okay, and we get this strength indicator, tells me it's strong, which is good. This email can be changed later. Right now it just needs to be an email that will verify that the site has been set up. So even if I'm setting this up for a client, at this point I'll use one of my own email addresses to make sure that I get the notification. And I'll click Install WordPress. So this is just telling me that my username is has been registered, and I need to enter my password. Actually, you don't do it here. You click on the login, and this is where the regular WordPress login will appear. And there it is. Welcome to WordPress. We're in, the site's installed, and we can start setting it up now. So that's it. That's the long version of the WordPress install that makes it secure and hacker-proof.